Good evening and welcome to Racecraft TV for round 6 of the East-West Tour Modified Series here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Glad you all can join us. I'm your host, Peyton Hill, and joining me in the commentary booth is Brad Kirby. Before we get started, how are we feeling tonight, Brad?
Feeling great tonight, Peyton. Glad to be at the home of NASCAR. This is one of the tracks that I've been waiting for on the schedule the most. Going to be some fun racing. Lots of entrants tonight. I think we have 26 or 27 guys racing tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. These racers are excited to run round 6 of the East-West Tour Modified Series, and with qualifying already underway, we got, let's talk about today's race information. We got 125 laps today, Brad, and they only get one extra set of tires. Now, short tracks, we saw last week, some pitting may not have been the move, and I'm curious to see how that strategy plays out.
Yeah, myself included. I kind of went into this practice. We kind of talked about it a little bit before the race start there, but I would imagine that, your top 5, you might not see them pit if it goes for a long green flag run. Maybe the guys on back will take a different strategy, but we've seen it all too well before that track position definitely takes precedent when it comes to pit stops.
Yes, pit stops are definitely something that can make or break your race throughout this series. We've seen almost every race. However, let's start running down this race order. On the pole, we have someone who is definitely trying to make the name for themselves throughout this series, Ryan Blanchard. Now, we've talked about him a little bit throughout this series. He actually ended up winning last week. I believe he was last week's winner for his first win of the series, and now he's only 1 point away from the points lead, with Dave Bodio actually being your points leader.
Yeah, he's got a good position tonight to take down some championship points, get a good lead. As you see there, Dave Bodio is going to start 7th place tonight, so if Ryan can manage a smooth race, a clean car, he can walk out of here with the big points lead. But don't count out the guy in 2nd place and 3rd place because they are very hungry to get that first win of the season.
Hungry indeed. And like we've seen all year, this first corner is absolutely insane with their cars being loose. Now, something that I mention every race is that these cars are open setup. They don't get to have a fixed setup. Not everyone's running the same setup. So these teams work on these cars every day, or maybe not every day, but at least every week for this series to make them as fast as they possibly can go for tonight's race. And these teams work exceptionally hard for these winners, and to win a race is definitely something that's important. However, someone that we had to look out for last week was Lucas Leone. He was on fire. He almost had the race throughout the entire race, but lost it to Ryan towards the end of the race and just couldn't get there. However, these points are starting to battle down. This is the last race before we get 1 week break and we move on to the second half of our season. We're only halfway through. There's quite a lot of racing left, but these points are starting to stretch out, and it's time to get serious about these points.
Yeah, very serious time. We only have a very short time amount left. Lucas Leone is going to try and make it happen tonight. Very curious. He wasn't able to get that 2nd place or 1st place starting position like I thought he was going to get. He was the 2nd fastest in practice, actually tied basically with Ryan Blanchard. But sitting in 3rd place, he might not have a bad spot there because he gets that inside line.
That inside line can definitely be important when it comes to going into this first corner, but these first corners are absolutely insane, and I believe the lights are actually just coming off the pace car. And it's going to be a great race. I'm excited to see what happens. However, running down this, this top 5 is just stacked. We have Ryan Blanchard, Teddy Hodgdon, Lucas Leone, Justin Brown, Kyle Amon in your top 5, Junior Harville, Dave Bodio, Chris Forster, Kyle O'Danick, and Austin Beers rounding out your top 10. As they go into turns 3 and 4, we're going to get ready to go green flag racing here at North Wilkesboro. Ryan Blanchard with the lead, leading the field through turns 3 and 4. Pace car dives down. Green flag waves for Ryan Blanchard leading the field into turn 1. They're already stacking up in the back.
A big stack up back there, Peyton. That's what happens when you get a short track and when the green is on the leader. First caution is out.
Wow, we have a caution already. That was, I think, record time. We might have a car back there that's on fire, smoking. Not sure. Definitely a tough one there. It seems to always that we need to get our first one out of the way before anything, any racing starts to take place. However, I'm curious to see if anyone's going to come down pit road and get their damage repaired.
Myself included there. Just a big stack up there. A lot of these guys that aren't used to a 26 car field tonight. A little bit more give and take, especially with these modifieds. It takes a little bit to get woed down. And unfortunately now it looks like John Pulio in the 7, he is going to have some major repairs under this first caution.
Some major repairs. We're going to take a look here and see what happened when it comes down to that incident there. I'm not even sure what happened. Let's try this. It was after. Let's see. Yeah, that start was definitely chaos for sure. Who was it you said had a lot of damage?
So I actually watched a bit of it back on my second screen. So John Pulio was going into turn 1. The 29, I believe that might be Chris Hyatt. Not too sure. I'll double check on that. But he got a little bit loose in front of the 9, and unfortunately swept up the track into John Pulio, and just unfortunately for him, got taken into the wall.
It was absolutely unfortunate. We're going to take a look here from John Pulio's perspective. Yeah, it looked like some people were getting a little loose, and chaos ensued in the first corner there.
Yeah, that to me was just loose or cold tires. First turn, as I said, a little bit of a racing deal. Not much the 29 could do, and also not much that John could do in that situation. But hopefully he'll get that thing repaired as we're going back to green.
Yeah, green flag racing once again. Blanchard leading the field, single file now through turns 1 and 2. Definitely a little bit spread out, not much going to happen. That is tough luck for John Pulio there. He's definitely in the pit still. So, however, big field tonight. I mean, look how stretched out they are. They have 2 wide back there, but your leader, Ryan Blanchard's already putting on the lead at 4/10. However, Hajdan does not give it up that spot. Teddy's definitely keeping that pace right with Ryan Blanchard.
Yeah, a name that we haven't seen up in the top 3 a whole lot this season. He's looking for a breakthrough victory, a breakthrough top 3, even really capitalize on some points tonight. As you said there, we're getting to the halfway point after this race, so these guys really got to think big picture if they want to chase that points lead.
Yeah, the points contenders, I mean, you can consider Ryan Blanchard definitely a points contender, as well as Kyle Odanik and Dave Bodio, people who you have to be careful for. But we have some people a little bit out of the top 3, and those are Christopher Hyatt and Zach Edwards. Now, they're pretty far out, but a few races that lean in their direction could put them right back into contention within a race or 2 to go at the end of the season. So don't count them out either.
And just as you were going on there, I see the 17 of Kyle Amon did leave the track there for a minute. He has lost a ton of positions there, now back in the 25th spot.
I definitely lost a lot of track position, and we know that track position is definitely key when it comes to this type of racing.
And back up the front there, Ryan Blanchard now at a 0.8 of a second lead. A guy that I'm very surprised with, we talked about him at the start, Lucas Leone. He's a 1.5 seconds back now from Ryan. Were you expecting him to be kind of in fourth after watching the practice and whatnot?
Oh, he was definitely fast in practice and definitely threw down a quite impressive qualifying time and still came out third. But I don't believe that he's gonna sit there the entire race. I definitely know that he has a fast long run speed, just in his skill level alone. So I'm curious to see what he can pull off, and I believe we just have another caution.
Yep, caution just came out, and it looks like a decent-sized incident. I am showing a lot of cars involved on the front stretch. I'm showing more than probably 8 or 9 cars involved in that one. Must have been a big one.
Yeah, let's try to take a look and see what happened here. Looks like the 18 is what we're following. The 18 went into turns 3 and 4. Or, sorry, yeah, 3 and 4. Just got caught up in a wreck with Klopotowski and
Yeah, then actually just behind that, we had the 31, Brad Carpenter, Chris Hyatt got collected back there. A bit of a second wreck in behind all of that, so a few cars taken out in that one. As we work lap number 16 going on to 17. Peyton, we talked about, this race going one of two ways here. Maybe the caution-filled route or the green flag route. Is this what you were kind of expecting, or?
I mean, it is a short track. It is short track racing. We see contact happen just even in our normal, even in the longer speedways and longer short tracks. So it's definitely something that I've expected when it comes to the caution. But it still makes for some great racing off these restarts. I mean, everyone's trying to battle for position. I mean, look at Lucas Leone. He's sitting third now.
Yeah, it gave him the boost he needed for sure. Guess while we're rolling around here, it might have 2 to green. I'm sure might as well just thank Racecraft TV for having us out here, of course. If you're out there on YouTube, definitely drop us a comment. Give us your race pick for your win. Yeah, we just want to hear from you out there in the YouTube verse.
There's a lot going on with this race. A lot of big names kind of sitting in this top 5. I mean, Blanchard, Hodgdon's definitely thrown down some fast lap times. But Lucas Leone, Brown, and even Harville, some pretty big names who definitely put on, I guess, some speed in over the past couple races.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Junior Harville can do. He's the guy that's had a bit of bad luck this season. He's had some great runs and then maybe caught up in a few incidents there. But looks like the pace car is going to come off here as we are about to go green for lap number 20.
Oh, green flag once again. Ryan Blanchard leading the field. But look at Lucas Leone coming down to the inside of the track. Might not be able to get the run off the corner that he needs. Definitely not coming off the corner like you'd expect. These cars definitely look like this dynamic or this increased banking. And oh, Lucas Leone does a little bit of contact with Hodgdon. Is that our caution?
Yeah, that is a major hurt for Teddy Hodgson right there. Oh man, he backed up that car into that wall pretty hard, Peyton.
Yeah, definitely don't see any nice remarks after that one. I'm expecting probably doesn't feel very good about that either. Lucas Leone, I know he definitely tries to get to the front, but he doesn't like being aggressive about it. So this is caution number what?
Working caution number 3 now.
3.
Yeah, and we talked to Lucas there. Well, actually, I got to talk to him after the race there last week, and he definitely expressed that there were times where, you know, he could have put the bumper for the win, but he didn't, and he's just out there for the respect and to be a clean driver. So definitely wouldn't expect anything malice out of him, especially this early in a race. But sometimes you never know. But I do believe that he might have just got backed up onto Lucas, and Lucas might just not have braked hard enough, maybe.
Definitely looked like a mistake in braking.
Either way, not. I'm sure not the way that Teddy wanted his race to go this early. Gonna have to get some repairs fixed up in the pits and hopefully be able to contend again.
As we take a look at what happened here.
Oh, my bad. He actually stayed out. I would have thought that he would have pitted because he did back it in there pretty good. But, well, shout out to the Nerf bars on these cars then for all the work that they do in keeping the rear end in place.
Yeah, they got single file, and it looked like they just were late on the brakes there.
Yeah, Teddy, he's got a good car. We've seen it's fast. You know, he's going to restart in 5th now, but I think his patience, obviously, after that, will wear a little bit thin. And, you know, once he gets back up to Lucas, you might see him repay a favor.
Yeah, we've seen that before when it comes to NASCAR, and curious to see how they're going to drive against each other now. I've had my own share of incidents when it comes to my own league racing, but that definitely looked like an accident on his end. 41, I believe that was Harville, rolling up pretty fast on him.
Well, just real quick before we go back to green, make sure you check out Podium and Podium 2 on Twitch as well. I know Josh has a pretty big hand in that one there, so I watch them all the time. As we go back to green.
Yep, Ryan Blanchard leading the field, but look at Lucas Leone holding that outside. Might actually be where you want to be off these restarts. Looks like you can carry a lot of momentum off the corner, but not quite going to work out for Lucas Leone. But look at Teddy holding that inside, almost coming up into Lucas.
Yeah, he's gonna get aggressive now. Wow, able to leap 2 cars off the restart and get his 3rd spot back after getting taken out there.
Just incredible Lucas Leone. Definitely having a little bit of contact there with the 45 of Austin Beers.
Unfortunately for Lucas,
look at Harville!
Oh! Another big wreck in the back.
That was Harville. Harville involved. 14 of Chris Forrester involved, as well as, I believe, who is that? Thomas Capuano as well. 21.
Yep, Capuano. Steve Costley went off track as well. Yeah, but 4 cars involved in that one in some shape or form.
I believe Steve Costley went off track to avoid the wreck, primarily. Over what actually happened. We're going to take a look here, going into it from the cockpit of Capuano. Looks like a little bit of contact taking place, and someone just gets a little sideways, nowhere to go, and right into the mess. Thomas now going down pit road.
They're going to have to get some repairs done. Hopefully won't go too many laps down and still have a shot at this thing. As we cross 31 laps out of 125. Ryan Blanchard still up top. Justin Brown in second. Teddy Hodgden, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Tell me in chat or after the race. Please tell me, sir. Austin Beers, Lucas Leone, and Kyle O'Danick in 6th.
Yeah, Gary Holbrook in 7th, Matt Swanson sitting 8th, Greg Smith and Zach Murphy rounding out your top 10. We have Dave Bodio, your points leader, sitting 11th, which is probably not where you want to be as your points leader, especially when you're only leading by 1 point. And the person you're leading is leading the race. So definitely not the fastest car for Dave Bodio today. However, look at Kyle O'Danick, which is actually Dave Bodio's teammate, I believe, on Fistful of Bourbon Racing. Or, sorry,
Jim Beaver Esports,
yes,
I believe.
Jim Beaver Esports.
Yeah.
They're Fistful of Bourbon cars.
Yeah, Kyle's been able to capitalize on these cautions a little bit, and he's been able to leapfrog. They haven't had the fastest cars in the field, but they do usually use a strategy that will play out if they don't obviously have the fastest cars, and somehow they'll both wind up in that top 5.
Yeah, we're definitely going to take a look here from Hodgdon's perspective off this restart when we get the chance, but for the time being, like I said, we have no race next week, and the week after we're going to head on December 13th to Irwindale Speedway, which is actually my home track, and get to see the carnage that happens there. They hold plenty of races there. I'm excited to actually produce a race from there. That'll be actually quite fun. And then December 20th, Nashville, as well as December 27th, South Boston. So we get ready to go green here.
3 awesome races coming up. Wow.
Green flag once again waves with Blanchard leading, Brown in 2nd, Hodgdon sitting 3rd, but Hodgdon's going to have to get out of the throttle coming out of turn 2, trying to dive under Brown.
Yeah, he's looking for any sort of room underneath Brown right now, but Austin Beers was able to kind of have a look as well underneath Teddy, and Teddy was having to defend rather than attack there, but now he can go back on the move and try and get that 2nd spot.
Yeah, all these drivers stacking up, coming out of the corner. Look at Austin Beers trying to hang on to this front pack, but Hodgdon just breathing down the neck of Justin Brown, sitting in 2nd place. And look at that, Hodgdon gets the inside, drives all the way up the track, and he might not get there quite yet, but he definitely has the inside and the preferred line coming through these corners.
Now with these two fighting for 2nd place, that is just music to Ryan Blanchard's ears right now. He is just going to stretch that lead out as they continue to fight and be double file the way that they are.
Yeah, the more that these racers actually fight side by side, the slower that their lap times will be compared to Ryan Blanchard, who has already a clear track ahead of them. So these drivers definitely trying to get everything they can to make passes quickly before your leader Ryan Blanchard gets away.
Ryan is he's got a fast car every week. You know, it took him, I think last week was his first win, I believe. So you know, he's had to wait a few weeks to get that win, and he's capitalizing now, and obviously the points are showing that he's consistent week in and week out.
Out of 5 races counted, he has 4 top 5s out of the 5 races, so very consistent driver for the field, whereas, I mean, that goes the same for the top 3. However, it just seems that Blanchard has that higher capability of running these fast lap times the entire race.
Yeah, this North Wilkesboro was a place I don't think Dave Bodio was hoping to see on the schedule, as he's still running in that 11th position, about 4 seconds back from your leader right now. Actually, call that 10th. He just got a pass in on, looks like Zach Murphy.
Yeah, Zach Murphy definitely battling, but they're actually having contact going all the way up the track, trying to clear each other. This battle is actually heating up pretty well as they're starting to have some more cars in front of them battle in front of them. So Bodio gets clear, but it's going to have some more company on the inside. Not quite going to clear him for 10.
And Ryan Blanchard, he is just putting a whooping on all these guys tonight. I'm telling you, he has one fast ride. I'm watching his lap times right now. Consistently almost a 10 faster than the guys in second, third, and fourth, and just building lap by lap.
Yeah, look at Hodgson, though, getting to the inside, trying to use every bit of ground as he can. He might have to set up Justin Brown going through the corner, as well as Lucas Leone kind of starting to peek into the picture, trying to find a way through, as it looks like Hodgdon's might have an opportunity here to get to the inside. Not quite, but Justin Brown definitely holding up the field here. However, doing a very good job at holding off your third place driver of Teddy Hodgson.
For sure, you can see that number one Lucas Leone really being timid back there, waiting for his time. He doesn't want to get in the back of that 55 again.
Oh, a little bit of contact.
55 into 24.
Not only is the 55 and 24 going to make contact and deal with it, that's going to give Lucas Leone a free pass. A little bit of contact with Lucas there at Justin Brown. But see what Hodgson can do if we keep a look on these lap times. We keep a look on that 1.5 second gap, 1.6 second gap that Blanchard has on Hodgson.
And we are under caution.
Well, caution comes out. That is not what Blanchard wants to see, but we're going to take a look and see what happened here. Oh no. Who crashed?
I'm showing Austin Beers in the 45. And he was running up in 4th place, I believe, or 5th place with Kyle O'Danick. And he looks like he might have just flipped his lid going down the front stretch.
Oh, wow. He's upside down. What happened to him?
It seemed to me that he got a little bit loose. I mean, Kyle didn't seem to get into him at all. He wasn't really close enough to get into him. And it seems to me like, well, I mean, I know that once those open wheels hit a wall like that, they start to climb it. And
Yes,
I think unfortunately,
it did look like he ended up not only yeah, it looked like he just got a little loose, tapped the wall, and O'Danick, just not expecting him to get into the wall, kind of tapped him and helped him over the wall, and ended up going upside down and just not being able to turn over like a turtle.
Yeah, an unfortunate spill for Austin. He was running well, obviously running in the top 5. He had a great starting spot tonight. Looking to get some points, but now he will have to fight back. I'm showing him now 3 laps down in the pits. Yeah. And I believe he as well, because it showed him jumping to the pits right away.
Yes,
so.
He did tow.
Yeah.
Definitely probably out of contention for the lead here.
Yeah, with iRacing, the one thing you definitely can't control is your tow time. And, if you have to be towed for 3.5, 4 minutes before you can even start pit service, you can pretty much count your short track race over.
These drivers showing that putting in the time every week to keep their points and keep moving forward in points and try to be as consistent as they can. But things like what happened to Austin Beers just happens eventually, and it's just how luck runs out. I mean, racing's not just about your skill either when it comes to this stuff. Sometimes the luck of your equipment and coming off a corner just might not work out in your favor.
Yeah, for sure. And I just saw something interesting before we go back to green. Junior Harville only one in that top sort of 10 to pit. So that could be an interesting strategy here as we go back to green on lap 58.
I will keep an eye on Harville as green flag flies once again for Blanchard here for lap 58 here. We are, wow, Blanchard puts on the lead real quick when it comes off of these restarts. However, let's take a look at Harville sitting 15th right now. Moving into 14th, we're going to take a look actually onto himself in general. I believe he started 16th with this caution.
Yeah, he was the last car on the lead lap going to green because he did pit, so. Now that strategy, it could work. I mean, if the top 5 end up pitting, but as they say, I don't know. With all the cautions we've had, they've been able to save some tire now. It might not be worth it. We've seen the track position obviously play a big role this year. But Junior, with those fresh tires, can obviously mount a pretty big charge here and hopefully maybe get into that top 10, top 5 position if it stays green. Don't look now, but Teddy Hodgson has stayed right on the back of Richard. He's not going anywhere, and I think he's hungry for that top spot.
Yeah, finally getting the chance to be back on the bumpers. Definitely not losing this opportunity. Probably trying to pressure. The pressure itself alone, pressure alone can cause drivers to mess up. And I mean, I'm sure Ryan Blanchard's definitely feeling that now, feeling the nerves as it's getting towards actually the halfway mark of this race.
Yeah, we're actually a lap over halfway now. You know, these guys have put on a heck of a show so far. We've seen 5 cautions. Hoping to see less in the last half here, but you never know. Obviously, Ryan Blanchard is hoping to see no more cautions, and Teddy Ogden right now, he's just waiting for his opportunity. You can see him pretty much any lap now, ready to strike when he gets that look.
Yeah, you can see that he's definitely trying to hunt down Blanchard, but just not having quite the speed. I mean, did a caution just come out? Yes, it did.
Caution flag waves.
Who was it this time?
Actually, they just passed one of the guys there, Zach Murphy and Anthony Bozzella, bring out the caution.
Take a look here.
I believe Anthony Bozzella might be a new driver.
Yes, I mean, they pushed almost 3 wide, and it looked like the 23 of,
Costly, possibly?
23 of Bozzella
Yep.
created contact with the 29 there. Zach Murphy, tough luck for the 2 drivers there. It looked like, I mean...
yeah, leaders are coming into pit right now. Ryan Blanchard, Teddy Ogden, Lucas Leone, Matt Swanson, Gary Holbrook have all just made their way down pit road. He's going to give the lead up to Justin Brown in the 24.
Yeah, but look at Kyle Odanik, the person that's putting on this series altogether. Big shout out to him for this series. And if you want to join the series, I believe you'd actually get in contact with him to make that happen. However, he stays out, and so does the first person. I mean, look at Dave Bodio, also staying out. Got a few drivers here that are kind of important when it comes to points, trying to make something happen.
Yeah, I can't say I'm not a little bit shocked by that, because I figured that top 5 would have been all track position even halfway here, but maybe they're just thinking halfway. This is a good time to just go ahead and get the tires. We didn't see Junior move up a whole lot last green flag run that he got on his fresh tires, but maybe they're just seeing something that we're not, Peyton, and but one guy that's going to be really happy is Justin Brown in that first spot, because I mean, he's going to have a chance to get some clean air, lead this race, have that track position. That's so important.
Yes, track position definitely going to be important for this this second half of the race. Curious to see how these drivers make it through the field. I mean, we got to take a look at Ryan Blanchard, see if he can make it through. But look at Junior Harville. I mean, he went down pit road, right, and came down pretty early, and now he's got a little bit older tires than the people behind him, but he might be able to work his way through this field a little bit easier because he's a little bit more towards the front.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be interesting to see what he does. I mean, your top 6, the 5th and 6th guy they pit pretty early in the race. So, I mean, your top 6 are working on some pretty old tires. Really, Junior Harville is on, a couple lap old ones, and then you've got Ryan Blanchard and back with the fresh new ones. So it'll be really cool to see here as the pace car is ducking off.
I'm going to take a look on an onboard from the 24 of Justin Brown, trying to see this lead. And we're going to see how this guy does some laps through this field, as well as see how Kyle Odanik is actually doing back here, as we actually seen that. Kyle Odanik holding on right here, as well as look at Dave Bodio sitting third.
Y'all be kind of watching back through here at Ryan Blanchard, gonna see what kind of a charge he can mount while you are watching so front, and I'll give you some updates here as I see them, but he is coming for sure.
Yeah, Ryan Blanchard definitely making moves here through the field, but don't count out these drivers who, I mean, they're gonna have to use their tires getting through the field, and by the time you might hit the lead, it might not be of use, and they got to be careful for anything that happens in front of them.
Yeah, that was definitely not the position I would have put myself in if I were Ryan, being that he had such a huge lead, and obviously had a fast car and he had clean air the whole race. Now he has to fight through all this traffic, but I think what he was seeing was that Teddy was getting right on him, and I think that if he didn't pit, he might have had, or he might have lost that lead. We got a bit of an incident going through 3 and 4 as well.
Yeah, it looks like the pace car is actually moving out here. That is not what your leaders wanted to see when it came down to it. Who was it?
The 3 and the 71.
Oh! No. Well, okay. I'm not gonna say that wasn't an accident, what just happened, but I think it was. Gary Holbrook definitely frustrated with what happened between him and the 3.
Yeah, that I don't think brakes fail on iRacing that much. Or I've never seen, or I've never had my accelerator pedal stick. I don't know about you.
Yeah, definitely not. It didn't look intentional right off the bat. It just looked like he was carrying a lot more momentum than that 71. But however, he had just, not paying attention like that. That's how you definitely can ruin your own race, as well as some others. So trying to take out the 3 there, probably not the best idea.
And with all these cautions, that is going to be helping Justin Brown, Kyle Odanik, Dave Bodio, Greg Smith. They're able to keep Ryan Blanchard and Lucas and guys like that, Teddy, able to keep them at bay for a little bit longer. And this was my fear, obviously, with pitting. If you're in the lead that late into the race, is if you get this many cautions again, you're not going to have too many opportunities to try and get that lead back.
Yeah, these drivers definitely trying to put in everything they can when it comes down to these weeks and having that opportunity to even race in this series. I mean, it's fun, don't get me wrong, but trying to leave those aggression, even when it comes down to these pace laps. I know it can be frustrating sometimes, and retaliation is definitely not the way to do it. However, I mean, we're double file once again. Brown leading the field here, and look at Ryan Blanchard now sitting in that third row back on the inside, right behind your points leader Dave Bodio. Now Dave Bodio definitely needs to stay in front of Ryan Blanchard for the rest of this race, as he definitely has the disadvantage with car speed as well as tires. But look at Brown just taking this field underway here, but the battle is not quite for the lead. The battle's for the top three here, with Kyle Odanik, Dave Bodio staying out, even some team orders, or these teams working together. Is
Caution
there another
again.
caution? With who?
Jason Perkin. And just to put a note on that last caution as well, Peyton, I just was reading that Gary Holbrook was removed from the server, so he's no longer facing 2-0.
Yeah, see retaliation. Oh no, it looked like a little bit of netcode there between him and Harville. I'm going to take a quick look at that again here. It looked like Harville kind of came up, definitely pinching him up against the wall there. And a little bit of netcode, I guess, in a way, or something. But definitely not good for Perkins there.
Yeah, no, he's kind of stayed in his own lane tonight, ran his own race. So unfortunately, I'll have to take it down for some repairs. But again, hopefully, won't go too many laps down here. I believe he's already gone 1 or 2 now, so maybe able to come back from that with a couple lucky dogs. But other than that, pretty much race is over.
Yeah, these drivers definitely putting on as much as they can, but it looks like this top three is definitely holding off these top four is definitely holding off these fresher tires as best as they can. But I don't know how many cautions they're going to be. I mean, a long green flag run now might actually be dangerous for your top four. And then 5th place, Ryan Blanchard, just barely leaking into this top 5. Pace car's off. Brown takes the green flag, leading the field into turn 1. But look at Blanchard already looking down low, trying to find a way in to this top 5. Might make it stick off of turn 2, side by side down the back straightaway, coming into turn 3 and 4 with the clear. But Lucas Leone definitely not wanting to give up that spot and try to get around him as well. Lucas Leone's going to go to the bottom, sliding under the 104 of Greg Smith. However, Blanchard definitely... Oh, look at your two teammates up here, too. Getting a little close.
21 and the 16, way too close for comfort there.
It looks like Kyle Odanik's actually going to go for the lead here. Don't quite know if we've seen him win a race. I can actually check here. He is currently winless for this season, and definitely looking for one, and being in these points predicament definitely might be something that he might be wanting to do. But with 37 laps to go, I don't know if he's going to be able to hold off the quite dominant number 9 of Ryan Blanchard this evening.
Yeah, Ryan is coming hard. He is on that bottom lane trying to get by Dave. Dave doing all he can to hold up Ryan Blanchard so that he can give his teammate any shot at all at getting past that 24, but the 24 is just so stout out front, holding his line, doing his thing, and it is hurting Ryan Blanchard to be running side Dave Bodio. As you can see, he had to fall back to 4th.
Yeah, but Ryan Blanchard, I mean, knowing that there's points at stake for every position right now going into the halfway of the season, and knowing that every position definitely needs to count here. So he's definitely putting on a little bit more aggressive than we normally see for his leading. And look at Dave Bodio and Kyle O'Danick getting together, going into the corner, trying to race each other as hard as they can. Looks like it might give Blanchard a free spot going into the corner, taking third away from Kyle O'Danick. But look at Kyle trying to power around that outside, make it stick, get the run coming down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Kyle clipped that wall a little bit going down the front stretch last lap around, and it was just able to scrub off enough speed to give Dave Bodio, Ryan Blanchard a way through. Now you can see Ryan is already back up into that top three. Lucas Leone sitting there in that 5th position. Those are your two guys to really watch out for. They were the two freshest pitters that we have. Freshest tires in the top 5. But we've seen it before, freshest tires doesn't always equate to a win. Sometimes it's that track position, and Mr. Justin Brown is getting it done tonight.
Yeah, Justin Brown's definitely putting on the show to try to hold off the dominant number 9 car tonight, and he is definitely number 9 here. Ryan Blanchard's, I mean, dominant with the lap times all night, but if you just can't get around someone, you just can't get around someone, and that might actually be how it's working out tonight. I mean, dirty air definitely comes into play when it comes through going through a corner, and these drivers are trying to drive as fast as they can around this track, and looks like Blanchard might have the lap times but not the track position, so I'm curious to see how this is going to pan out.
Yeah, he's been very, the top 5, I mean, or top 4, sorry, you could really throw a blanket over their lap times, not much separating them, which isn't great if you're trying to gain. So for Ryan Blanchard right now, like, he's going to have to find a way to make this work. I don't believe he used up his tires already, but it does seem that he just doesn't have that same speed that he had at the earlier stage of the race.
Yeah, that speed, I mean, maybe it's the tires, but also maybe it's the dirty air. It might not have been, I mean, think about it, he has been in clean air all race, and now he's in that dirty air, just might not be accustomed to it yet. But riding in that 3rd spot and waiting for something to happen, having this points gap, it's 1 point between Bodio and Blanchard, and for the points lead, as well as Kyle O'Danick setting 3rd place, who's actually sitting 4th in this race. Definitely not where you want to be for Kyle to gain points. However, every point counts when it comes to the end of the season, and we're only halfway, so things can happen. But trying to go into this the next off week might actually be beneficial with whoever wins this race.
Definitely, and I'm real impressed with Dave right now. He definitely had a car that we both kind of were, thinking maybe mid-pack finish tonight. Him and Kyle weren't looking particularly strong in practice or qualifying, but they are shining tonight when it counts. Dave's been able to make up 5 positions now, able to keep that top 2 spot going. Might come out of this with way better points than I think he would have thought. So if he can keep this up over Ryan, that's going to make it harder on Ryan going into the off week.
Yeah, also having that mindset and that confidence going into Irwindale in 2 weeks will definitely be important for the rest of the season. I mean, these drivers showing what they can do all season so far and being so close in points, I mean, it just shows how competitive this racing is. And when it comes down to strategy, I mean, look at Justin Brown. We haven't heard him we haven't heard his name in a minute, and yet he's holding off these drivers who are battling in points. But look at Dave Bodio now getting the inside. Might not be the best move, losing that opportunity and being a little bit slower now that Blanchard actually has the outside. Coming off the corner, back to single file race and coming down the front stretch.
Yeah, Justin bobbled a little bit. He bobbled coming out of 3 and 4. It did make Dave kind of check up a little bit. Obviously, Dave's not one to want to so clean this whole race, so he wanted his own opportunity to get by. Didn't have enough to get by on the inside, and he was able to close Ryan Blanchard's gap up as well. Now it's a 3-car race for that lead.
Yeah, that 3-car race, I mean, it's definitely heating up as we get within the 20 laps to go, trying to find the right groove without giving up the inside is definitely going to be difficult, but it looks like that outside line might actually, not the outside, but maybe that middle in between the inside and outside groove is definitely where you want to be sitting going through the corner unless you're blocking for that position. I mean, look at Dave Bodio opening the corner just a little bit to get the run off the corner. Getting really close coming into this corner, and look at Dave Bodio went a little wide.
Yeah, he opened up the door there for Ryan, but Ryan not able to capitalize close enough to get under Dave. Dave will live to fight again here as we are coming to 14 to go. Man, we're getting close to the end. If you're Dave Bodio, when is your time to make a move? Because I think you've got to make that move to get as many points on Ryan as you can.
Yes, every point matters coming into this series, but I mean, it would definitely not be great if Blanchard got by and Bodio lost the championship by that point, or even now when if he lost it by 1 point. I mean, every race counts when it comes down to these points. And some may say that it's a little bit too early to be talking about points. Man, I've been talking about points since race 1, so it's definitely winding into this halfway mark of trying to, all right, it's go time to try to make up some points while we can.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I do another modified league on Saturday night, 23 race season, and I can tell you that's where you're not worried about points until, 13, 14, 15 races in. But for these guys here with a 12 race season, it's go time from the start. You have to be worried about those points. We saw it with Kyle Eli, one of the fastest guys in the league, hasn't shown up. He won 2 races, hasn't shown up now for 3 races, and he sits way back there in points now.
4 races. I think this is race
4
4
races,
that he
sorry, yes.
Yes. Yeah, definitely a memorable driver who won the first 2 races of the series, which was his only 2 races of the series, and was looking great on points. But look at Dave Bodio now leading the points, getting to the bumper of James Brown, getting to the inside. Oh, a little bit of contact. I don't think there's a caution, but look at, watch out for Ryan Blanchard. These drivers blocking, trying to get to the bottom of the track. It looks like Blanchard's going to slide it in there. More contact. Blanchard just is your new leader going off of this thing. And, even more contact.
And Blanchard's into it. Oh, my gosh.
No. That is definitely a caution. These drivers just throwing everything they can at this. Blanchard's definitely not wanting to see that. But Bodio now, your leader. I don't even know how to describe what just happened. I mean, is it even 7 to go? Time running down, and these drivers are starting to get physical coming into these corners. And now if I was Dave Bodio and Kyle O'Danick, I mean, they're looking great. And did Blanchard pit too? Oh, no. Blanchard's points, definitely, all that work he's done in the past 3 weeks might not come to par now that he's coming down pit road. I mean, hopefully he can pull something off, but this points lead's definitely going to open up, especially if Bodio can open up this win.
And I can tell you there hasn't been many times in my life I've been speechless, Peyton, but after that one, I am speechless. That's 2 forms of retaliation that we have seen tonight. Obviously, Brown was not happy with that pass that Bodio made on him, and he wanted to show his displeasure, but in that same regard, he took out a really fast car tonight. A guy that's going for a points win or a points lead, and essentially just kind of handed it over to Dave Bodio tonight.
Yeah, now I mean, that could very well definitely be retaliation. However, there is that opportunity that he may not have been paying attention going into that corner, and I like to give the benefit of the doubt going through the mind. It was during race pace. He might have just misbraked the corner, or trying to race a little bit more aggressive and try to give a little bit of the same issue, except it just caused a big slinky effect. However, if you take a look at Jim Beaver Esports leading 1 and 2 here, as well as Lucas Leone sitting in 3rd place and Hodgdon in 4th. These 2 drivers definitely putting on the show this Monday evening, and last week too. Lucas Leone definitely showed that he has the potential of winning a race, and with 4 to go I believe we might only have 2 to go at the line. It might be a single file restart if it's a natural green-white checkered. However, if it is an iRacing green-white checkered, it will be double file and be chaotic. We will be determined here.
Yeah, and a couple guys back there we haven't talked too much tonight about unless they were involved in some incidents. Anthony Bozzella sitting back there in 5th place. I believe this is his first race with us tonight. Junior Harville sitting back there in 6th. Steve Costley and Kyle Amon in 8th place. Steve Costley and Anthony Bozzella have each moved up 12 positions so far.
Yeah, these drivers definitely getting ready here to go green once again. Green flag. Dave Bodio takes the lead, or takes this field into a green-white checkered, a natural green-white checkered. The last thing you want to see is a caution if you're Dave Bodio coming down the back straightaway for 2 more laps. Hoping that he can pull it off here.
Yep, white flag is out this time around. Dave Bodio with a nice little lead here in 1 and 2. Kyle Danick, he can with Lucas Leone looking to the inside of Kyle down the backstretch.
Yeah, Blanchard coming through, turns 3 and 4 for one final time with his teammate, Jim Beaver Esports, Kyle O'Danick. I believe that is the race. Dave Bodio, your winner. And Kyle O'Danick, Jim Beaver Esports going 1 and 2 today, or this evening. And Lucas Leone, someone that we were quite thinking that he was going to pull off the race here. They give a little bit of a excited congratulations nudge there, pulling off the win here.
Peyton, that was a heck of a shakeup at the end. I must say that wasn't the top. Well, I mean, maybe one of those names expected in the top 3 tonight. I was not expecting Dave or Kyle to finish as high as they did, but congratulations to that team tonight. They really showed that strategy pays off. I did believe that they could get into that top 5 by the end. I just didn't think they had the speed, but man, did they ever kill it at the end, and congratulations to Dave.
Yeah, Dave Bodio definitely threw on a performance tonight, coming from 11th back in the main part of the race and coming towards the end with that pit strategy. We've seen these pit strategies play out in multiple different ways, and like we said, that tough luck there for Ryan Blanchard and even Brown. That was quite unfortunate for what happened. However, they did pull off a top 10 finish and salvage whatever they can from that. But 2 cars that definitely had a chance to win it, definitely out, as well as, I mean, a few cars that just got played by pitting strategy. I do believe that we probably have some people in the waiting room. I mean, we'll go from 3rd place on.
I'll pull Lucas down here for you.
I got it.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Lucas, congratulations on your 3rd place finish. How did you feel going into this race?
Well, a lot more confident than I was towards the end of that race there. Tried to make the setup better, and I feel like I had something good enough. Obviously, me, Ryan, and Teddy, all top 3 that entire race, and I felt like it was going good. I feel like I messed up there by taking those rights. The car tightened up way too much.
Yeah, is there definitely something that you probably are going to look back at and adapt to? But before, coming into this race, did you have a strategy? And what was the strategy? If you did, what was the strategy that you came in with? Versus, do you plan on changing that strategy?
Really, just the same as Loud, and just head down, do the best I can do there. Had a really good qualifying effort, and first part of that race was really good. Just tweak my setups a little more, work on them, and improve from there.
And of course, was there anything that you do wish you could have done better in this race, or maybe something that you would have changed coming into this, or knowing what happened?
Yeah, make a looser race car if anything. Teddy, he was giving me a run for my money at the end there, and with Justin and Ryan wrecking, I got lucky. I think I was really the 5th place car at best, not top 3, but I'm not gonna complain about the way it worked out. I'm happy.
All right. Well, before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank?
Just fence line films, making my car look good all the time. All the boys, we work together and make it work for us. So can't do it without them.
Of course. Now, thank you. Congratulations on your third place finish.
Thanks, man.
Now, standing by with Brad, we have Kyle. Kyle, if you're with Brad.
Hey Kyle, congratulations on that second place. Did you see yourself being in that top two when you gridded up tonight?
100% no.
From what we were seeing in practice here, I definitely I thought you guys could play a strategy that would get you into the top five, but to see you guys pull off that 1-2 is pretty incredible. Just take us through that race a little bit from your perspective.
I mean, it was a lot of surviving. The car definitely had speed. It's just so tough to pass because I think you want to be on the outside in 1 and 2 and the inside in 3 and 4, and obviously you can't really make that happen too often. So, yeah, we just survived, made some passes when people made mistakes, and the set that we were using was we used it last season, and it didn't show a lot of speed, but it was just fast throughout the race. And as everyone else kind of fell off, it kind of kept getting faster. So we kind of just had to trust it, and it ended up paying off.
Yeah, for sure, man. To have Jim Beaver Esports 1-2, you can't get a much better night than that. Anything you're going to take from this race moving forward?
Again, just more confidence. It's Dave and I have been working together a lot this season. We've been really trying to study these cars. They've changed a lot over the last year and a half, and we've been behind. So we just tried to catch up, and I think we did that.
For sure. Well, on behalf of Peyton and myself, thanks very much, and thanks, of course, for putting on the league that you do. You do an awesome job at running it. Anybody you want to shout out there tonight?
Yeah, Fistful of Bourbon, General Tire, guys at Jim Beaver Sports, Keith, obviously Dave Bodio. Like I said, we've been working together, putting in time, and it's paying off.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations. Enjoy the Fistful of Bourbon tonight, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
All right, sounds good, guys.
Saturday, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to have one for Dave tonight too, so that's good.
All right, now with we're gonna bring our our race winner here and our points leader now confirmed as what I can say coming into this race. Dave, walk us through your strategy coming through here, and congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, that one strategy went out the window pretty early there. I had some internet issues, and then as soon as I pulled down pit road, it cleared itself up, and I started the march back to the front.
Yeah, now, obviously, did you have any idea that you were going to be on the top spot of the podium today coming into this race?
No, not at all. This is pretty surprising. I didn't expect it at all. I knew based on feedback from Keith and Kyle that we had a pretty good long run car, but it's one thing to believe it, another to feel it. So they were right, and I guess that teaching me a lesson next time.
Yeah. Now towards the end of the race, we did see that you did create you did get in contact with Brown there towards the end. You want to walk us through what happened there and probably that save that happened with Ryan Blanchard?
Yeah, I think getting in there, I had a good run off, and we made a little contact. I mean, he gathered it up, and then the following lap, he sailed it in there trying to get me, and ended up getting Ryan too, which is unfortunate. Ryan and I are in the battle for the points lead, and have someone come in, and I don't even think he's run this season yet, and disrupt that like that is unfortunate.
That's unfortunate indeed. Now, I mean, did you coming into that green white checkered with the lead? Did you think that you had it in the bag? And also, is there anything that you wanted to do different looking back at this race?
If I knew that it was going to have so many cautions, I probably would have wanted to fire off a little bit better. It was really, really good on, once we got into a run, 10, 15 laps in. But, up until that point, I felt like, we were the field had a little advantage on us. So towards the end there, I was worried on that green, white checkered, but we ended up pulling it off.
Well, congratulations. Before I let you go, is there anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, Keith and Kyle for help with the set, and obviously for putting on the league, and then everyone over at Jim Beaver Esports, Fistful of Bourbon, Next Level Racing.
Well, congratulations, Dave. We're gonna take that and I mean, just congratulations. I'm actually speechless when it comes to that performance there. So, what a race! Congrats. We are going to head into what I like to call the outro here. But Brad, is there any finishing thoughts coming into this race here, or even going into this off week?
A lot of hurt feelings after this one, I think. Probably a couple upset guys, obviously, but probably some of the best racing we've seen all season long, to be honest with you. One of the best finishes. A crazy shakeup of what could have been after tonight, or what we were expecting to see in the points after tonight. So, I mean, for Dave and Kyle, obviously, on that team, great for them. Not so much for Ryan tonight. Obviously, he's going to want to come back next week a lot stronger. 2 weeks. And so I'm very much looking forward to Irwindale and beyond.
Yes, Irwindale is definitely going to be fun. I mean, these drivers putting in their all when it comes to this type of racing and trying to pull off what they can with this point series. And it's definitely so nice to see a big field turnout tonight. But that is the race here at North Wilkesboro. That is all we have for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for joining us on iRacing and Racecraft TV. I'm Peyton Hill, joined by Brad Kirby, and we're saying good night from North Wilkesboro. And I'll see you in 2 weeks.